This month we're talking about prosperity and abundance, and I roll a little differently, so I'm specifically going to talk about our relationship with money. You look at me and you're like, relationship with money? What? It's an inanimate object. How can you have a relationship? I relate to it, but I don't have a relationship with it. Well, have you seen the movie Lars and the Real Girl? It's a movie about a young man. He lost his parents, he's lonely, and he needs a companion. So he orders one online. And it's a blow-up doll. And you're watching the movie and you're like, come on, this guy's a loser. And then you start listening and you're like, wow, he's got a big heart. Wow, this is very real for him. Oh, I wish he was real because he's a really great guy. And you really get to know the relationship that he's having with this dummy. And that's kind of like how we relate to money. We do have real relationship with money. We just don't realize it. So in this talk, we're going to start realizing our personal experience and relationship with money and what that means for us. So I'm going to break down the relationship part, and I'm going to have 3 or 4 archetypes of money managers, money minds that live within us. And then I'm going to share a little story about my early programming around money. And as I share these things, think about how does that apply in your life? What are your money managers? What's your relationship with money? What do you hear in your mind when you have money in front of you or when you have to make a financial decision? And what are your early stories that programmed you? What I do is a therapy called internal family systems, and we talk to our parts. So there's a part of me that, a part of me who. For instance, when I go shopping, as soon as I cross the threshold of that store, I'm not alone. I have my peeps with me. So I have my money manager. She's the one who looks at the price tag and decides if we could buy this or not. I've got my fashionista who falls in love with the designs and the evening gown that I won't need and all of that. And then I have my wardrobe consultant who says, no, you already have a dress like that. You can't have a dress. And then I have the skirt monitor to see if the skirt is too short or not. So when I go shopping, I'm so excited because I have my posse with me and the 4 of us go shopping. So as you can relate, this is how we show up in relationship. This is how we show up at work. This is how we parent our children. This is how we socialize. All these different parts of us are out at each occasion. There's another posse, another group, who are very close, and they're the voices in your head all day long. I used to have a critic, and she was on me every step of the way. And I figured her out, and I fired her. So these are parts, just so you have a reference for language. When we have money in front of us, or we're making a financial decision, what voices are going on? And you're like, wait a minute, what's this relationship stuff? Does money control you, or do you control money? Does money choose which vacation you're going on and how long? Does money choose which restaurants you get to go to? You see how money is a little bit like, oh, I am having a relationship. Because if you've ever been in marriage or an intimate relationship, there's all this negotiation that's always happening. My way, your way, compromise. So who's in charge in your money relationship? Does money make you nervous? Does it make you sad? Does it depress you? Do you hate dealing with it? Do you just avoid it altogether because you don't know how to make those conversations? Oh, now it gets more real, right? The room just got a lot quieter, and it was like, oh, yeah. So this is our relationship with money. This is how we relate to money. How does it make us feel? So I love experiential stuff. So we're going to close our eyes and just chill, just forget everything, and relax your body and enjoy the silence. And ask yourself, how do I feel about money? And you may notice, does your stomach cringe? Does your heart tighten up? Does your throat get dry? Do you feel like flying? Do you feel a sense of freedom? What's going on in your physical body that's indicating something? Notice that. All right, open your eyes. And that's how we begin our personal journey of discovering where our relationship with money is. So if every time something comes up or you get a bill that you didn't expect and you feel this, oh no, now what do I do? Or panic comes over, and then we think, well, where did I get this part anyway? Because my personality really doesn't like the stress that money gives me. Like, I don't have that relationship. I don't like stress. And then we have to look at our early programming. What was the money consciousness in your household, in your mom and dad, in the culture, in your neighborhood, in your relatives? Because when we're children, it's a clean canvas. So anything that happens, plop, there it is. That's a permanent fixture in your mental and emotional understanding of the way life is. When we have these programs, we don't really understand them because they're so natural, they're so a part of us, we don't think that there's a choice around that. Our language when I was a kid was, oh, we don't need that. We can't afford that. Rich people buy those kinds of things, we don't. So I was like, oh. And then if you're a Catholic, and they're like, why are you so greedy? And then you're like, oh, I'm never asking for anything again. Because the guilt consumes you, even as a kid. And as we age, we can kind of go, we were always like that. Now I feel like that's the same, but my bank accounts are full, and I still feel like I can't afford things. So we start looking at things. And my sister and I were having a conversation. She's an artist, and she's very creative and does beautiful work. And she remembers in Kmart, we were there, and we could have something today, and she wanted the 64 box of crayons. She was like, yeah! And my mom's like, oh, no, that's too much. Here, get the 8. And her heart sank. 8 doesn't have silver and gold. 8 doesn't have the sharpener. And her artistic expression just had to shrink into the 8 box instead of the 64 box. It's moments like that that transform us and fix us into an understanding of who we are in relationship to money. So here's some archetypes for money managers. And these were described to me by a lady named Monica Shaw, who does some money management and entrepreneur stuff. So she had this whole weekend of money. And she just described them, but I'm going to go ahead and flesh them out because I like these characters. It's easier to see. One character is in the shark skin suit, the shiny ones. All of this and all of this and all of this. The pinky ring, the gold looking watch, and the wet look. You've seen these people, right? As a kid, you look at them and you're like, was the store having too many shadows and he didn't notice how shiny that suit was? Because that looks ridiculous. And why is his hair wet? It's the middle of the day. So these people are like, yeah, the world's my oyster and I'm at command. So the mentality for this person is the daydreamer. They're entrepreneurial in spirit. Money doesn't have any concern for them. They hate looking at their bank account. It really crushes their style. And they think big and they achieve impossible things. They're risk takers. They're entrepreneurs. And they are like, that's it. Don't worry about the debt or the bankruptcy, the foreclosure, the repossession of their cars. Like, they don't, So that's that type. Another type is the giver. And I have friends like this. And they usually have big hair, big boobs, high heels, red lipstick on, and they're a foodie, they're big, they love life, they love to travel, and they just love to receive in the lavish life. And they're generous. They will give, they'll pick up the tab, and they just love life and they love money and everything's great and let's go big. If we're going to spend, let's spend big. And they're fun to hang out with. And then there's the saver, who I am. Pedicure, manicure, go to the spa? I'm not going to spend my money on that. I'll just take a long bath and take care of myself. So we're always kind of saving. It's more fun to save because saving means freedom. When I was a kid, I wanted to run away since 2nd grade. So all my birthday money and this money that would come to me, I'd be like, oh, great, and I'd stash it. And my parents are like, don't you want to buy a toy? I don't want a toy. I got a future. So the savers are always saving. Rainy day, somebody might need something, and we're the family member who other people come to and hit us up because they're the suit wearer or the restaurant eater, and they don't know how to manage their money very well. So they'll go to the saver and go, I need tuition, I need rent. And then the savers will be like, yeah, I got your back, here you go. So that's the saver. And the fourth one is the martyr. And the movie My Fair Lady and that song about tuppence. Everyone's walking around in rags and they're cold. There's no rags to riches story for them. There's like rags to rags. And these are people who will walk around with holes in their sweaters and, wear the same clothes all the time and just shine up their shoes. And they have a poverty conscious of lack and limitation. There's never enough money to go around. I'm always short, just $1 short. And gosh, how do other people make money? So these are the 4 archetypes of how that all works for us and what our mentality is. So, I don't see Dave Ramsey on that list. Like, he's got it all together. He knows what to do. He's smart about it. He's realistic about it. He's well-balanced. Like, my money part does not look like Dave Ramsey. And I bet you your money part doesn't look like Dave Ramsey either. So these are parts, again, from our culture, our understanding. And when couples, can you see now why money is the biggest thing that couples fight about? Can you imagine a saver and the best restaurant person eating together? So the saver has to adjust and this has to adjust. Or the guy who spends wildly, and then the poverty conscious one, married to that one, like, what are you doing? We don't have that kind of money. So that person would squash this person's creativity. And they do get away with it. They do make millions, and these are the risk takers of the world. But if they're having parents raised like that, that really decreases that person's potential. So that's why there's all these dynamics within families and then within relationships. It's very difficult to understand why we can't get together on the same page. These things are built inside of us. So take a look and see which one you have a stronger tendency to. Sometimes we'll have both, and if they're opposites, we'll be like, I don't know what to do because one part of me wants this, another part of me wants that. So just kind of understand and explore those ideas. Now I'll tell you a little story about my early programming for money. My parents were very protective, so we weren't exposed to a lot of the bad things in the world. That means we weren't exposed to a lot of the things in the world. When I was 6 years old, I was allowed to walk to kindergarten because it was just a block away. And this took months of me telling my mom, no, let me go by myself, please. So by some time in the year, I was allowed to walk all by myself. And I felt so proud, like such a big girl, because we couldn't go without earshot of the house. Like one house on this side, one house, and that was our territory of playland. All the other kids were running all up and down the streets, and we were just like, how come they get to play and we don't? So we lived in a small world. And then this summer, when I was 6 years old, my mom called me into the house. I was outside playing. And I, as a child, made a lot of mistakes. And I didn't realize that kids make mistakes, that's what kids do. They just make mistakes. That's their living. And because every time I made a mistake, I got in trouble. So it's natural to make mistakes, but I didn't know that. I thought I was just making lots of mistakes, and I was always getting in trouble to make these mistakes. Then I was afraid to make mistakes. So you know how that goes, right? the thing you fear the most persists. So I was a nervous kid, and I always didn't know why I was getting in trouble. I was just normal play. In my mind, I would be playing, and then I'd be getting in trouble. Like I didn't understand how that all happened. And being a spiritual person, I didn't realize that as a kid I was a spiritual person. I thought everybody was like me. I'm operating on a few different levels at the same time. I'm in a meditative state. I'm in a place where there are no words. I'm in a place where there's a bunch of answers, like where we go to seek answers in our higher consciousness. I had access to that. And then I'm an empath, so I feel everybody's feelings. My feelings, my siblings' feelings, my parents' feelings, the neighborhood's feelings, the whole Detroit metropolitan area feelings, the universe. Like, I was receiving all of that. And then I was working on mass consciousness where everybody else lived as well. So when people would talk to me, I'd be like, huh? I'd be contemplating the life of a tree, and my father would be yelling, Ursula! And I'd be like, huh? What? Eat your sandwich. Sandwich? Oh. Everything was kind of shocking to me because I'd be pulled from one world to the other. Why are you mad at me? Because he had told me 6 times already to finish my sandwich. It's time to go. So I'd eat the sandwich and then I'd be like, I'm not even hungry. Eat your sandwich. There's too much bread. Eat your sandwich. So this is how I was. So my mom calls me in the house at 6 years old. I was playing outside with my sister. And I thought, oh my God, I'm in trouble. What happened? So I go in the house, I'm like, yes, Mom. And she's like, go to the store and get some milk. Your dad's coming home and I ran out of milk and we're having mashed potatoes tonight. Here's the money, it's exact change, go to the store. I'm like, okay. I don't know what exact change means. I've never bought anything by myself. I don't know how to handle money. I'm like, oh my God. So the pressure's on, right? Because when Dad comes home and the food's not ready, he gets a little grumpy. And then my mom gets embarrassed and gets defensive. So there's all this nervousness in the kitchen before my dad comes home. So my sister and I know, play outside, it's safer that way. So I have the money in my hand. I got to go to the store and get some milk. And I'm thinking, how do I go to the grocery store and get milk? And she's like, the party store. Go to the party store. And I'm like, yeah, the party store. It's on the corner. I can walk there. So I get the money and I start going outside. Put your shoes on. Okay, put the shoes on. Get my little tennis shoes on. I start walking out the door. You need the money, right? Okay, get the money. Okay, now I got the money. I got my shoes on. I'm going to the store. And the party store is a liquor store in the Detroit area. So I'm going to the liquor, bars on the window, and it's okay because we've been in there 100 times. The guy's a little grumpy, but it's a pretty safe place. So I live 11 houses from the corner, and he's just around the corner. So I'm walking down the sidewalks, and I'm looking. I've got the money in both hands, no pockets, and I'm just walking. I'm like, wow, I'm such a big girl. I'm going to the store and getting milk. This is great. I'm helping my mom, and I'm going to do a good job. And I'm walking. And I get there, and I get into the store, and people are looking at me like, what's this kid doing in here? And then I go to the cooler, because we bought milk and bread there all the time. And you know those things that like... And then it pops open, and I'm like looking at the milk, and there's 2 kinds. Thank God it's not today where there's 20 kinds of milk. And I'm like, oh, there's a red writing, and there's blue writing. I'm like, oh, they both, milk. And I'm like, what's one? Which one? Shut the cooler door, you're letting the air out. Oh, the man's mad at me. I'm in trouble. But wait, I have to buy the milk. Hey, he's not allowed to yell at me. He's not my dad. The red one, the blue one, what am I going to do? I got to hurry. Okay. I know how to make decisions. Eeny, meeny, miny. So I get the blue one. The blue one wins. Shut the door. Stand in line. There it is. Got the money. Got the milk. Cold. Whew, this is cold milk. Okay, and I'm standing in line. And it's my turn. And I put the money up there. And I put the milk up there. And he looks at me, and I look at him. And he's So we look at each other. He takes the money, he puts the milk in a paper bag, shoves it towards me, and I take it down, and I'm carrying the milk home. I did it. I did something right. Oh, thank God. And I'm walking home, and I'm so happy. And then the bag rips. The carton drops and breaks. And the milk is all over the sidewalk. And I have a little piece of paper bag in my hand. And I'm like, oh. And the lady who's milk, she's not very kind, and her dog barks a lot. And I thought, oh dear, now she's mad, my mom's going to be mad, and everything's going wrong, and oh my God. In contemplation of this as an adult, I realized that paper bag probably got wet and broke from the bottom. But no. I don't know that as a child. It's all my fault. Here I am, in trouble once again, unbeknownst to me. Pick up the bag, what's left of the bag, the carton, and I run home. And I know, I'm so smart, because I learned from my mistakes. Don't go in this house with wet shoes, even though it's milk wet shoes. So I am knocking on the door to get yelled at. Bang, 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 bang. What? Mom. With each step that I hear her coming closer to the door, I feel anger, disappointment, frustration, plus all my own, like I can never do it right. She comes to the door. You, what did you do? Oh, go throw those out. I'll give you more money. Take your shoes off. Oh, God, oh, God. So I do this. I can't imagine my poor mother dealing with me all the time. So I go in the house. She's digging through her purse. She gets all this change. I'm changing into some sandals that I haven't grown into yet, but they'll fit later. So she's like, okay, hold it from the bottom this time. Hold it from the bottom. Okay, hold it from the bottom. Got the money. Okay, let's walk. Okay, go. Hold it from the bottom. Get the milk. And before I left, I'm so smart. I had the consciousness to look in the garbage can to check the right color. Red. We buy the red milk. Oh my God, I would have gotten in trouble because the blue milk. And okay, buy the red milk. Hold it from the bottom. Go to the store. Get them. Okay, so I go in there again, and the guy looks at me. What's that kid doing in here? Don't look at me. So I go there. Okay, red. Got the red milk. Okay, up to the thing. Got to wait in line again. Some lady turns around and she goes, oh, you're so cute. And I'm like, I'm stressed out. Don't look at me. I'm not cute. Leave me alone. Okay, and I'm thinking, I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to do it really right. Have you ever done this, like you're in the bank foreclosure and you're like, what is going wrong? You're losing your business. How can all of this stuff be happening? Like, I'm a good person. None of this should be happening to me. Can you relate? So now it's my turn, and I'm nervous. I put all the change on the counter, and it goes rolling all over the place. Back there, up here. I put the cold milk up there. We're all picking up the coins. He's grumping at me. Oh, and I forgot to tell you. On the way there that time, because of my new sandals, I tripped. And the money flew out of my hand. Not on the sidewalk where I can see it all. No, in the grass. So I thought I was picking it all up, and I thought I could find it all, but I didn't even know how much I had. I don't know how much milk costs. I don't know how many coins you get. So I get up there, do the counters. They collect the coins. He counts them. He goes, you're short. Like, only half of it's here. You can't buy the milk. I'm like, what? So I look at him like, I don't know what to do now. And he goes, return the milk and go home and get some more money. I'm like, oh, my God. This is getting ridiculous. So I take the red milk, I go to put it in the cooler, and then I start leaving the store, and he goes, hey, take the money. So I'm like, oh my God, gotta take the money. So then I run home, and I think, oh, look, maybe I can if I could just find these coins in the grass, and then I could go back to the store, and my mom won't know anything. So I'm frantically looking in the grass, and I forgot exactly what part of that person's lawn now I have a 20-foot span, and I'm looking, and I'm having a meltdown, like, oh my God, oh, look at the buttercup. Oh, my buttercups. I love my buttercups. They're so cute. And I hear my mom, Ursula! She's at the sidewalk in front of our house with her hands on her hips. What are you doing, child? But I don't have enough money. I gave you enough money. Oh my God. So come on, get in the house. And then she gives me some dollar bills. Go get the milk. Hurry up. Your dad's coming home. Okay. So I'm back out street, and I'm walking down the sidewalks, and I'm thinking, Lord, have mercy. What's going to go wrong now? I can't do this anymore. I'm exhausted. Who wants milk anyway? Why do we have to have mashed potatoes? I was playing with my Barbies, and that's all I want to do. I don't like money. I'm not good with money. Those are the ideas that got programmed into my consciousness. Because when we're very upset or very happy, whatever we're thinking, whatever's happening, gets sunk right in. When we're on our defensive and we're logical, these things don't get sunk. But when we're emotional, when there's a tragedy going on or some kind of crisis, these are when all of these thoughts and ideas get programmed into our subconscious. So I make it to the store. Get the red one. Get the counter. I look at him. He looks at me. And I put it up there. And he gets the money, puts it in a bag. And I'm defeated now. I don't care what happens. I'm probably going to do something wrong. Who cares? So he gives me the milk, and I start walking away, and he says, wait a minute. I'm like, oh, my God. And I look at him, and he goes, here's your change. I'm like, what's change? Why is he giving me money? I don't know what this is, and I'm sure I'm in trouble now. So I'm slowly walking home, trying to figure out, why did that man give me money? I bought the milk. He gave me money. This is bad. So I threw it in the grass. I finally make it home. Here's the milk. What's wrong now? And she's like, where's the change? And I said, what's change? Where's the money? What do you mean? The man was supposed to give you some money back. Well, I don't know. I think I lost it. Okay, go to your room before I beat you. No, just go to your room. So these are the ideas. This is one of my early money stories. So think of one of your early money stories where things weren't so great, or where things were really great, where you made lots of money, or you did a paper route and you had more money than all your friends. And whatever it is that programmed you, how is that program working in your life? So when we look at Lars and the real girl, what is our personal relationship with money? How much money has control over us, or how much are we managing it? And out of the 4 archetypes, which one are you? Do you wear the suit? And it's not on the outside, of course. These are the inside. Do you wear the suit? Are you the rags to riches? Are you the saver? Or are you the restaurant foodie? These are ideas to think about. This is how we get to know ourselves, because in metaphysics, it's our awareness of our perception and the filters that we're looking through all the time is where we can change our life. In New Thought, we say, change your thinking, change your life. But if we're not aware of how we're thinking, then that's where this piece comes in. More awareness to what's going on inside, what are our programs, and how can we deactivate or change out these programs within us. So this is the truth in my life, and this is the truth in your life, and so it is. Thank you. And now we're going to move into what we call treatment. So unfold your body, relax, close your eyes if you'd like. There is one universal consciousness. It beats our hearts, teaches the birds how to fly, keeps the planets and the entire universe in order. We don't exist without it, regardless of our ego. This source is abundant. Look at a sunflower. It only needs 1 or 2 seeds, but no. Look how many seeds in a sunflower. Look how many seeds in any plant. A dandelion. Why would the universe make so much abundance for a simple seed and cheat us? It's not true. We are as abundant as every plant that has seeds. How many oxygen molecules are in the atmosphere? Doesn't need to be that many, but why not? The universe is balanced, and so are we. We've been programmed out of balance. Here we are gathering to seek our true selves, our right balance. We're infinitely abundant. We're creatively abundant. We're magnetically abundant. The joy of life is ours for the taking. The adventure of life is ours for the exploring. We can be wide awake or fast asleep. It's our choice. Feel the abundance. The laws and principles are set in place, and as we use them, we can skill build, and greater things keep coming to us. Wide open, trusting, allowing, understanding. And when our fearful parts and our stingy parts and our greedy parts can step aside and allow the abundance to come, that's our true design. If you give a child a crayon and a piece of paper, they don't worry. They just start drawing. Let's just start playing in a bigger picture, in a better picture. What's the next better idea that I have for myself? As I give and share generously, the world returns to me. I am a spiritual being made of divine love, divine power, divine intelligence. Trusting and allowing our intuition. These are gifts we have for ourselves. Fully supported, fully provided. And the gratitude, the sigh of relief to know this is wonderful. Feel the gratitude. We release this into the abundant world in full faith, and so it is. Thank you.